What up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Street Knowledge Report, man. I see it's getting crazy out there on the internet. I see they going haywire over the controversy about the math and the China Mac dude. I don't know either side at all. I watch math. I've seen his work throughout the years. I actually seen his podcast. Started watching it recently, a couple weeks now, and I'm really very impressed. I love to see when a black brother come from nothing and turn themselves into something. Meaning, he was on other people's shows. Now he have his own show, and it's successful. So I went back and checked out things with the China Mac guy, and seeing that he was on the Math Hoffa platform, and because I wanted to get the understanding of why he feel that he can say the things that he's been saying lately and actually like he's standing on it to the point now it's looking like he's standing on it just to stand ground, because at this point he don't know how to say my bad, I said the wrong thing. When a person start yelling, because I seen them going back and forth, I watched that this morning. I seen them going back and forth over a live, but they was talking, a Zoom call that they did to each other, call upon each amongst each other, excuse me. So he started getting mad and started yelling, and Math was just laughing, like, which I commend him on that. There ain't no need to be getting all mad and jumping and going crazy. I'm gonna just get my point across, because at the end of the day, you all the way over there and you mad. What you mad for, right? So I'm wondering, I'm like, what legs do another person got to stand on to tell another person what to do with their business, their company, something that they created? I'm just trying to figure it out.
I feel like Math Hoffa never called up the studio while China Mac was recording. Was like, hey yo, I don't like what you're doing on that verse. You should switch up them words. You know what I'm saying?
Right. What if he called and said that, right?
Like, he ain't come to his job and start making demands of change.
Right. Like, it's crazy, right? So I'm listening to the guy. I'm listening at his rants, and you can't do that, man. I'm loving what Hassan Campbell was saying, man. He's going to his brother fight. He knows math, so he could call him his brother. I'm just saying a brother in black community. I had to speak up about it. Yep, my platform ain't big as neither, but it's on the way. So this ain't about trying to get views and all that. This is about, I just want to speak out to my people that's following me right now that might don't know the situation.
I feel like okay, Math's show and
right.
Hassan Campbell got a voice. That's like McDonald's and Burger King coming at somebody like a Chinese restaurant, because the Chinese restaurant owner came over to McDonald's talking about, y'all shouldn't be serving burgers, y'all should be serving egg rolls. So, and Hassan, he owns a burger joint similar to McDonald's. So he
right.
Like, what Chinese restaurant dude coming over here talking about we need to be serving rice and egg rolls?
Right.
Like, he don't serve burgers and fries. This is laughable, in the words of Hassan Campbell. He called it laughable.
Right.
That's how I feel like. It's like, that's how Hassan is looking at it. Like, this is our lane. We serving burgers and fries over here. Stay over there with the chopsticks and all of that.
So what I don't like is you trying to pull a separation card. Black people go against black people. I'm not pulling a race card. I'm just saying separation. Because like somebody said, who sent you, brother? Yep, you've been around the black community for a while. You did 10 years with all the Goonies and all that. Respect to all of that. But I'm just saying, how you feel that you can voice your opinion and tell somebody what they can't do with their business, that they shouldn't have brought up a guy that's known, that has a case that's open, And he's a journalist now. But you never said nothing to any other people that Troy Ave went and did interviews with. What make you think that you can do that to him? See, that'd be the problem with people. They think that they cool with this person. They know somebody else did it, but they think because they cool with this person, now they can voice their opinion. So you know that kind of what that looks like, right? China Mac, it looked like you hating on one person. And you feel you could do that because you close to him. Plus, you know that his numbers is up. His show is popular. He's doing good. Nobody's going to feel you on what you're trying to do right now. And it make me say, yo, who is this guy? What this guy think? What make you think that you can actually do something like that to shut something down? Why should somebody listen to you? And you said, I heard what you said. You said you was just speaking in general. You wasn't really coming at Math. You was just saying you don't think that he was right. But that's still you coming at him.
Let this be a teachable moment to any other people that's viewing these podcasts. You got to remember, the journalist is neutral. No matter if you feel this person is a snitch that he got on this show, the snitch still gotta say his part.
Yeah, that's what they do.
He's gotta have a publication where the whole story can be told. What sense is a story if it's one-sided?
Facts.
Just because you don't like the way one side of the story look, don't mean that we shouldn't tell the whole story.
Facts. And that's just him doing his job. Now, when a person know that he's in a case, it happens all the time, no matter what the case is. If he ain't a snitch, he is a snitch, it doesn't matter. When a person asks a question like that, immediately he's supposed to say, I can't talk about that right now. The case is an ongoing case. That's his right to say that. But if he answered the question, the person that asking it has nothing to do with it. Period. So how are you the one going to be mad that he asked that question? Like, that means you saying you regulate Math Hoffa. You regulate his business or his podcast. Like, you don't regulate that man podcast. And another thing you saying that he's from the streets. You from the streets, so you supposed to know not to ask those type of questions. There you go again, trying to tell a grown man what to do. Even if it was a little kid, you can't tell him what to do if this is their show. How do you sound to come in and say something like that and want our people, our culture to listen to you, say something like that so we can turn on one of our black brothers that's successful? Okay, case in point, you saying he was in the streets. But guess what? When he was born into this world a civilian, right? A regular person. As we get older, then you turn to the streets, right? You're not doing the same thing that you was doing when you was a civilian. You might do a little some of it, but the majority of it you're doing street stuff, right? So while you are out there doing street stuff, you come to a point in your life where you say, I'm tired of doing this stuff. Do you know how many brothers is out there that's saying they tired of doing this and they got to change their life and leave this life here alone because they done seen a lot of their friends die. A lot of their friends is in life with prison. I'm one of them. I know a lot of them. Dead or locked up. Great friends of mine like my brother from another mother. So now you saying when they cross back into being into the civilian world and they ain't thinking about doing no street stuff, they still supposed to honor street stuff? Now now you're gonna tell him mix his business, his legal business with street culture, street thought process. He's supposed to say, oh, that's a snitch. I gotta X that one. No, that's good content for him if that person want to answer those questions. They say no. That ain't his job to say how he gonna limit his business to make the streets be happy. Oh, Math cool. He turned down Troy Ave because Troy Ave is a snitch. Yeah, that's how you supposed to do that. Don't put that snitch on your platform. And it ain't even all out there like crazy that Troy Ave snitching. We don't all, the story is just all over the place. So we really don't know everything that's going on. And even if so, it's still, that's none of Mav's business what's going on with that case. Even if he is cool with the guy that is or have a problem with the guy that's locked up. That guy put himself in there. From whatever he doing, and from what I was hearing, he was the one, starting the trouble with people in there. So sometimes, you got to watch your mouth and be careful what you ask for, because it'll catch up with you quick when you start drama with people, man. Troublemakers be thinking it's cool to start trouble, but soon as you hit the fan, you in there like you a good guy. You ain't done nothing. It's just like how the guys, when they rob and steal, and soon as somebody catch up with them and pop they top, they families, oh, he was a good guy, he didn't do nothing, he would give you the shirt off his back. Yeah, after he robs somebody, he'll go and look out for his other people. But that ain't how this work, bro. And you can't try and turn our people against a guy that took his negative mentality and turn it into a positive mentality, and he's successful at it. So now you want other brothers to look at him just because you saying and try to use that. You from the street, you ain't supposed to be doing this. You don't tell nobody what they supposed to be doing, man. And who made you the mayor to say, yo, what somebody's supposed to be doing, bro? I'm trying to figure that part out.
And just to clarify reality and common sense, as soon as he became a journalist, he might be from the streets, but anything he doing on that platform, that's it can't be he's neutral ground when he hit that.
That's a wrap.
You can't be a street dude publicizing stuff. You feel me? So
fact.
He had to hang that up for this job. So Math might have came from the streets, but present time today, he's a journalist, and journalists can interview whoever. Doesn't matter.
They want. It does not matter as long as he's not preaching to the streets for our youth that's out there in the street, for our up and coming youth that might liably be in the streets, that it's okay to snitch. As long as he's not preaching that, that's all what counts. He's just there creating content. Basically, it's telling a story to the streets. Maybe the kids will learn what Troy Ave went through and is actually going through in real time right now, and say, yo, I won't be doing none of that. If you look at it that way, Math Hoffa probably saving other lives by letting that story play out on his platform, because he has a large audience. That means a lot of kids is watching as well. So it's a learning lesson. Nobody don't tell nobody once they leave the streets, they still got to jump back or follow street code. They're not in the streets no more. Why don't they follow street code? I don't appreciate you or anybody else putting our culture out there like that and making our young boys think that it's cool to do legal but still worry about what's going on in the street. It's over. It's a wrap. Not thinking about that street stuff no more. You don't have to have no loyalty to the streets, except only one thing I'll give you. If somebody was getting robbed or something at gunpoint or whatever, you see it, might want to keep walking, mind your business. Depends on the person. But you ain't gonna want to be all over there talking to the police. Oh yeah, I seen him. He had a gun with a red hat and a black. Like, we really don't get into that as New Yorkers. And that's my opinion. Other people might do it, but as far as getting involved with street stuff and you got legal stuff going on, he'd be an idiot to do something like that, man. And for him to put together what he put together, I don't get him being an idiot. He's moving like a smart brother. And people like Math, I love to see what they doing and how they doing it. This is real genius what he put together. And you got to look at it. I seen a few shows, even when Fat Joe was on it. It was the barbershop something. My boy Shay Davis was on there. And they was interviewing people in the barbershops. That show ain't last but so long. Math kind of got that same, in the barbershop with the fellas doing the talking, real clever. And his is making big moves real rapidly and fast. So why would you want to tear something down like that? Why is you ranting and raving about what that man doing? That's like checking, for the next man pockets. You counting the next man pockets. Where they do that at, bro? That's crazy, man. And then you gonna say something about math. That's swaying the jury when you putting them up there. You trying to think of anything to say to make your statement look like you talking about something that's really really positive. That's really like real silly, bro. That's real crazy. How's whatever homie up there talking about gonna sway the jury? First of all, you've been in jail 10 years. You should know that jury, once they go home, they're not supposed to look at nothing, the news, nothing that will actually sway them out from a case. They're not supposed to look at nothing. They ain't supposed to talk to nobody about the case. They ain't supposed to let nobody tell them nothing about the case. Period. Or they breaking the law. So you need to worry about that part. And swaying the jury is not that man's business. It's not math business. If the Breakfast Club, Nori, Oprah Winfrey, Jay Leno, anybody interview that man, they gonna ask questions. But I bet you won't be saying nothing about them. A highly publicized talk shows. I bet you won't say nothing about them. And for what?
I feel like even if he did on that level, it would be ignored. It wouldn't even reach.
Very much so. But see, Math, I think he really had to address him because
he chimed
it's
in
close. Our coaches close, and yeah. And it's like he don't address something like that. Sometimes negative information travel faster, and it'll train the brain and make people think like, yeah, he might be right. And then it just a trickle effect, and then it could reverse his great show that he got.
And that's damaging.
Very damaging.
That's damaging to the culture if you really look at it.
That's a fact. That's damaging. You're gonna reverse something where somebody got positive stuff and talking about positive hip hop. Even if some of the hip hop artists that he do interview, it is something negative. It's still a message out of negativity as well, because they overcame whatever they went through to be sitting in a chair to talk about whatever they talking about. So you way out of line to even try and turn that around. Like, who told you could do that? Like, what make you think you are this big dog to do that? And I've seen some comments on the stuff people saying you is in the culture. And all right, yeah, you grew up in the culture, you grew up around the culture, but when you go home, do you eat collard greens, macaroni and cheese with the seasons that the black people use? Do you eat oxtails? Let's think about some pork stuff if you eat pork, cause y'all cook pork fried rice, so y'all eat pig feet, chitlins. Even though a lot of black people don't eat that, but a lot of black people do. Damn.
You got to wear do rags and get your hair braided.
Right.
You need hair grease. Hold your naps down.
Right.
Waves.
Right.
You know what that's about?
Right. Do you do that?
Do you experience the racism that we experience on a day-to-day?
Right. And then they said you was out there stop the violence against the Oriental people. You was out there saying that. So you was out there holding your people down, but you want to come over here and create turmoil on our side and try to make people don't follow a guy that putting in his work to take care of his kids and all. Even if you don't got kids, you're gonna tear down something that's something that's creating a future for a person that will maybe one day have kids that he can pass the torch.
And what's funny about all of this is I like Asian culture.
Me too.
But I don't impede on it.
Never will.
You know, if Asian people were having podcasts and the Asian person jumped in and said some stuff, if I don't like that Asian person because I seen something in other news that they did, who am I to chime in on this Asian, podcast in their lane and be like, hey man, you shouldn't have that guy on your thing. All the Asian people gonna look at me like, who's this black guy, man? Get out of here with your fried chicken and watermelon. You gonna go, you see what I'm saying? So come on, China Mac. I love Asian people, bro. I spent time in Korea. I like Asian rappers, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, you overstepped your boundary, and what this is damage control and letting you, you know, making you aware of, you know, what happened here. Because I don't think you really understand what you did.
And when he was making his speech about it, he was saying, I do not approve of Math Hoffa show. I'm not watching it no more. So you speaking to the people. You saying you don't approve, like you trying to tell them shut it down. So you got to be careful what words you use, because you was trying to say you wasn't saying it like that. You was just...
It's basically a boycott.
Right. That's a fact. So you can't, there's no way around that you made a bogey ass move on a guy that's just out here making a living, supporting his family, and trying to figure out another way to go to the top. But it's like crabs in a barrel, and you know what they say, being that you won't be in the culture, mostly in our culture, we crabs in the barrel, we pull each other down. So I guess that's the part you learned from our culture then, huh? Because if you in the culture and we accepted you, you're supposed to just keep rising and be quiet. Unless somebody disrespect you, then you got to stand your ground. That's different. But you don't feel like you got authority over somebody to tell people who you don't mess with and what you don't approve. How you don't know? Who cares about what you approve? And I'm not taking no sides. I just want to know. Who cares about what you don't approve, man? Who made you the boss of this culture? Who made you the boss of what the next man do? And you feel like you could shut something down. You need to be on the Oriental side, shutting stuff down over there. I'm sure there's a lot of things over there that's going like stop them from cooking cats and all that. You approve of that. And there's been a lot of videos with Asian people, Oriental people, getting busted with cats in their refrigerators and all that, and bringing it in our hood, selling it. You don't care about that though. You let us keep walking up in that restaurant buying that food from your people, right?
Yeah. Why don't you warn us to which restaurants to stay away from?
Right.
Doing all of that.
Right.
Help our community.
Right.
With that.
Being that you are in our community, being that you're in our culture.
Because we know you know.
Yeah. Go up and let us know which joint not to go in, which Chinese restaurant not to go in and eat that food.
Right.
That's chopped up cat. The one that look like chicken, or the ones that look like supposed to be pepper steak and all that.
Facts. You want some numbers, you want some notoriety, be that hero.
Yeah.
That, I bet you
your numbers will go up sky high.
Out of here.
Go in the back of the Chinese restaurant, say, this is the one. These is my people, my culture. But black people, y'all my culture too. This restaurant ain't good.
But wait, hold. I think we get ahead of ourselves, because that would low-key make him a snitch.
Oh, right. Oh, so you'll be a snitch.
He can't even tell us who's serving the cats to us.
Oh.
On some street level when it comes to those restaurants.
Oh, right.
And his people.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Yeah, to be more careful.
You'll be a snitch if you went and did that.
Right, to your own people. You be sellout to them. You know, because I guess you got to let your people sell us the rats and tell us it's the General Tso's chicken.
Right. And let us keep. So that means you letting your people hustle us.
Right. Now,
get all our money.
Now, where you stand at now? How much you love our culture now?
Facts.
Think about that.
Yeah, break that one down for me, brother. But you over here want to assassinate our people, man. I'd love to see my brother shining and blowing up and getting money and making moves. That's the reason for Street Knowledge Podcast, is why I'm addressing this. It's the reason for this Street Knowledge Report right now. Don't get it twisted. It's 2 segments. Street Knowledge Podcast is for podcasts. Street Knowledge Report is a report silly stuff like this.
Exactly.
And ignorant stuff. Things of that nature. But we can't let you tear people down, and we trying to build them up. Tell them to leave them streets alone. Fuck them streets. Ain't nothing in them streets. And whatever comes with journalism comes with journalism. You're not gonna backtrack 1 foot in the door from doing right, the other foot still in the street. Do that add up to you? That don't even add up, brother. No man don't gotta hold back their business because another man ratting. That's that man problem. If he ratting, he gotta deal with that. He gotta walk around with that jacket on his back. Not the next man. I will never judge my business off of what another man do. As long as Math Hoffa not snitching on him. Only thing he doing is asking questions. And it's up to the person to say yes or no. You don't have to make a decision to not interview nobody because he's supposed to be street. He might as well just stay street and do what Young Thug and them did. They was getting millions of dollars selling records, and they still street. So now where Young Thug and them at right now? Fight for his life. That's the best example I can make for you, China Mac. That's the best example. That's why street and legal don't mix. Once you go legal, you are not street no more. So what you was street? There's no such thing as once you street, you always street. That shit sounds stupid. Once you're in mafia, you always mafia. So you can't get out. How fair is that to anybody? Once you're in the gang, you can't get out.
I mean, that's just it. Gangs have that where, you once you join, that's it. You get tatted and burned and branded and all that. Mafia, the same thing. Once you mafioso, from what I understand, that's for life. But the streets is a free for all. It's not an organization. It has unspoken rules of respect because
Facts.
if you don't follow them, you can get killed or your life and
Facts.
freedom taken.
You have a choice to leave or stay.
But you don't have to be in the street life forever. That is one you can't give up. Can't get out the gang, can't get out the mafia, but you can leave the streets at any moment. And you don't have to follow the street rules if you don't want to anymore once you're out the street.
And once you leave, it's a wrap.
Yeah, don't come back.
It's a wrap. You don't got to do none of that. Like I said earlier, you was born a civilian, an innocent baby, growing up an innocent child. Once you start going outside, you can stay an innocent child. Go to school, go to community center, back home, do your work, go out, park, play. Once you say you in the streets, then you're in the streets. You can't be mixing too much street stuff with home stuff, because you go home, somebody follow you home, now you're going to get your family killed. So now you got to move strategically in the streets.
That's why your mama kicked you out the house.
Exactly.
Because you're trying to figure out being in the streets, and she see that, and you don't understand, why are you kicking me out? Because she see that you choosing that street, that's where you're going to live at. On
Big
the street.
facts.
Now, if you out the streets, you can live in mama comfortable house, go to school, get a job.
Big facts.
That's mama's way. Mama don't say it out loud. She do it with action.
And so now, once you leave the streets alone, you back to being a regular person. But you might do it with style. You still got suave. You cool dude. Ladies man, woman's a fly guy. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. But you ain't got to be indulgent and honoring no culture that you just left, because you left it for a reason. So you can be here for your kids, or you can be here to live your life, even if you don't have kids. So you don't have to lose an arm, leg, or freedom, or your life in the grave. What am I indulgent in? I ain't. So what if we find out that, what if, another quick example. What if Troy Ave or any other person heard that Math ain't, he don't want to interview you, man, because he's saying, you a snitch, you snitching. And now he hear about that, and Math is regular now. He ain't thinking about the streets, but he mixed it with street stuff by saying those words. Now Troy Ave, we got a Nipsey Hussle. Listen where I'm going at with this, y'all. Now, Troy Ave, not saying he is, just saying what if. Or let's just say anybody. John Doe. Just say, oh, word, Math don't want to interview, and he calling me a rat. Oh, word, nigga think something sweet. All right. Now he mad. He feel disrespected. Now, and I guess China Mac, he should figure out a way to tell him he turned his interview down without an excuse or make a fake excuse up. So now he got to lie to people in order to do his business, right? That's corny. But, so now, get back to the story. So now Troy Ave or John Doe says, oh, yo, China Mac. Math Hoffa don't want to interview me because I'm a rat. All right, we're going to see about that. Now, Math Hoffa just doing his everyday work. Go home, take care of his kids, might go to some events with people. He ain't got no beef because he ain't in the streets no more. He handling business. He turning interviews down for other reasons. Might don't have enough numbers on your, or your popularity might not be big enough yet for what he got, put together. So you got to respect that part. A person got to respect that. Now, he said a person snitch is a snitch, and to get back to that person that's a snitch, he ain't thinking about that neither. He's living life, chilling. I ain't in the streets no more. Back and forth to work. Now, this guy heard that he turned him down for being a snitch. He don't like that. Now, he's somewhere sitting around plotting, waiting to catch Math where he can catch him at. And he know where the show is at. He knows some of the places where Math be at. And he goes, walk up to him and blow his brains out. And Math, God forbid. And Math not even thinking nothing of it. He just working or he out at an event chilling with his people, talking, mingling, probably promoting whatever he doing. And he shot down a person that got good numbers, that's a controversial content to bring to his show. And the only thing he want to do is ask some questions. That's just living the good life, man. But he says he a snitch and the guy don't like it, come back and kill him. What? So now he honored the street code and mixed it with his legal business. Now he dead and gone. His family sick. His kids ain't got no daddy because people like you saying he should honor the code. And what you gonna do for his family if he lose his life? Nothing. You're gonna move on to the next. So, bro, you can't understand. You gotta understand why people looking at it like you hating, cause none of it what you saying making any sense. And I ain't saying that to talk down on you. I'm saying that to really just pull your coat and enlighten you on a few things, bro. For real, for real. I don't know you. Have nothing against you. I just don't like your thought process against a brother that's took himself from nothing and turned himself to something and look like he's getting ready to go higher and higher. And then a person like you will stop the process, the growth. So that means you only teaching our youth to learn how to do that. While y'all going back and forth with each other and you trying to make it make sense and yelling and all that, you got some people that's really listening to you, because I watched the comments and they agreeing with you with that silly conversation. So somewhat of what you're doing is working, but they need to be talked to. Hopefully they OGs talking to them if they agreeing with you. Hopefully that they'll give them a different light and they'll come back on the comments and say, nah, I was agreeing with you, but I don't agree no more. But what you're doing is way out of line, bro. My brother. China Mac, that's way out of line. That ain't what we standing for out here, man. We standing for black people to grow. And I'm not saying it for, separation from other races. I mess with all. A lot of my best friends is white. I got one of my good friends I grew up with is Chinese. We don't discriminate, bro. We rocks with everybody. And as you can see, a lot of people rocks with you. That's why you made it 10 years in that pen. Because I'm sure a lot of black brothers hold you down because you a stand-up dude. You stood up for what you believe in, and you wasn't gonna be no punk. So I like that you're a stand-up guy. But when you do this, that kind of takes away from you being a stand-up guy when you do that. And it's looking like, hey, bro, so, hopefully you'll get it right. Maybe you probably can really process what everybody is saying to you, and then you can just admit, I was out of line. Don't try to force it. When people wrong, they want to keep trying to force it. Start yelling, because they want to make people believe it. And that yelling them kind of deflect people from listening to the truth. But you can't do that to smart people, because the yelling just make us analyze you even more. Deep into what you talking, deep into your soul. Like, what? This dude bugging. And when you're wrong, you're wrong. You can't never get that back. The best thing what a man can do, a real man, is just apologize when they wrong. And another real man that's real can accept it in front of people. It's like, you know what? That's what's up. I rock with you. No problem. Apology accepted. Let's move forward. Now that's big for our culture, being that you was in our culture. Being that we accepted you in our culture. Because we accepted you in the culture, bro. For real. And you lived our life. You did things we did and doing and everything. That's a fact. But it's just certain things we don't do. A woman can wear man pants, but a man can't wear no woman dress. Some do, but it's not supposed to happen like that. But a woman can wear pants and a dress. So my point is, you can only do certain things inside of our culture. You can't do everything we can do, but we still accept you. That's cool. That's cool. So, hopefully y'all get that together. Before I leave, I want to say something real quick. Y'all go check out my brother, man. 730 Harlem Ream AFB. He did this shirt for me. I'm going to throw this on with an outfit in my Street Knowledge podcast joint. It's the Harlem joint, Harlem Manhattan, Uptown. He got this joint fly. Got some special, Lennox Ave.
I like the raised letter in that. That's official.
Yeah, it's joint hard.
The quality
the
of
rooftop. The rooftop, City College. That was where my high school was at, City College.
That's dope.
Willie Burgers, SNS Club, 7th Ave, 8th Ave, Apollo Theater. Y'all get it. My bro made this for me. 730 Harlem Ream, REEM, AFB on his Instagram. He put the outfits together. He makes shirts. He do hats. He do all that stuff, man. Y'all make sure y'all go check him out. Can't wait to rock my joint. And I guess what, Jax? We getting ready to roll out. See y'all back on the next Street Knowledge Report, and stay tuned. I got something real good for y'all coming on the Street Knowledge Podcast, man. Your boy Big Bootsie, I'm out.